Yeah, I'm Carl. I live outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And today I picked up my Legacy Elite 2, which I ordered back in August of 2021. And so I've been anticipating this day for quite a while. And I just had a chance to go through the unit and look at all of the options that I ordered and check it for quality control and so forth. And a lot of people who come here to pick up their Oliver travel trailer, for them it's the first time that they've actually had one of these. But for me, this is actually my second Oliver, and so I'm very familiar with them. So the orientation part was pretty straightforward for me. I basically know the unit really well, and that's because I purchased back in 2018 a Legacy Elite. So that's the single axle unit. And so I enjoyed that for several years. And then at some point, last year, my wife were out camping and we're saying, gosh, wouldn't it be nice to have a little more room and a little more storage? And so, we decided to take the plunge and get a Legacy Elite 2. So they're about 5 feet longer, they're wider, they're taller, more headroom and so forth. And on top of that, Oliver continues to, sort of improve its solar option. And so now you can get lithium-ion batteries, you can get the extra solar panels. And so we're boondockers. So we live in New Mexico. We like to go out into places where there's no hookups, where you're far away from everything. And this allows us to do that, for extended periods of time. And so anyway, I'm really happy that I decided to take the plunge. It's not to say that I don't like the Elite that we had. I actually really liked it. If I didn't like it, believe me, I wouldn't be getting an Elite 2, because I just like the concept of these rigs, and like the double hull, like the fact that they're 4-season, and the quality is really, really excellent. And in fact, I feel like the quality, looking at this unit versus the one I bought 4 years ago, I think the quality, if it's at all possible, it's actually gotten better. The attention to detail. I mean, I've gone through this rig. I spent the last few hours just checking out all the systems. I haven't found one single thing wrong with it yet. So that's always a good sign. So anyway, so I'm a very happy Oliver owner, I guess you could call me. And so one of the things that I was a little concerned about when we decided to go ahead and make this do this new purchase was that I obviously don't want to have two Ollies parked in my yard. I want to stick with one, and also I'd like to be able to take the funds from the previous one and put it towards this new unit. And so I put it on the market, sold it actually through Craigslist, believe it or not. And I basically sold it for pretty much what I purchased it for. So the resale value is really excellent. When you can buy an RV or a travel trailer, use it for 3 or 4 years, and then actually be able to get out your investment completely is really, really an attractive deal. Back in the good old days, when I first started doing RVing, I had a Winnebago View, purchased that in 2007. They used to go for something like $70K, and now they're way above $100K. But anyway, I bought a new one for $70, and I sold it. I think I sold it in not sure when it was anymore, but a few years back. And I was only able to get $30K for it. So there was a definite devaluation of that. I usually think, well, if I'm going to get an RV, it's just going to end up getting worth less and less over time, you know. And maybe I can't get rid of it, and you know, it may be hard to sell. And that has not been the case at all with the Oliver Elite. Again, like I said, I had it on Craigslist for about a week. I had like, maybe 3 or 4 people want to take a look at it, and I think the third person who came out, you know, paid my asking price. We loved camping out west. We're from New Mexico, so we, you know, within a day's drive, we can get to Colorado, northern New Mexico. We can even get up to Wyoming, and again, those are fabulous places to take a trailer like the Oliver because. Again, because of the solar package that we have, it allows us to boondock, it allows us to get to really out-of-the-way places. And, you know, the other thing about this is that we decided, you know, back when we got the Elite, to go the route of getting a travel trailer and pulling it with a tow vehicle rather than having an all-in-one RV, like, for example, the Winnebago View. We also had a Sprinter van that we converted. And the trouble with those is that you really have to worry about reliability of the you know, the van, of what is you know, what kind of chassis that the self-contained RV is on. And so, you know, even though Mercedes makes great vans, it can be a challenge to get them serviced if you're out in the middle of nowhere. And so we decided to go the route of getting a travel trailer that doesn't have any of those issues. You're just pulling it. And then we got what we think is a very reliable tow vehicle. We decided to go with a Toyota Tundra just because the reliability there is so excellent. And so we're not worried about breaking down out in the middle of Wyoming someplace and not being able to get it serviced. And so that's another reason for going the route of travel trailer versus an all-in-one rig. And again, we think it's also great because you can leave the travel trailer at your campsite, you know, and you unhook, and then you can take your 4x4, you know, further up into some trails and stuff. And whereas you can't do that, you know, it's hard to get a big RV like a Winnebago View or something like that into some of those rougher roads. And so anyway, you have the best of both worlds. So you have your base camp with your Oliver, and then you have your tow vehicle that you can unhook, and if you have 4-wheel drive, you can get to a lot of places that you couldn't normally get to. So, well, I would say that it's a combination of quality and functionality. So the quality is just really outstanding, which is typically an issue for RVs in general. A lot of RVs do not have the highest standards, you know, and a lot of RVs are just not as reliable and well built as automobiles are, you know. But I think the Oliver, you know, is an exception to that rule. And so it's the quality, but also the functionality, because we have this unit that is, you know, the double hull is extremely well insulated. So it's not only great for winter camping, but like on hot days, you don't have to run your AC as much because it's well insulated. And on top of that, we really like the fact that there's such a great solar package that comes with these, if that's what you're looking for. You know, the boondocking makes it really versatile. And then, you know, on top of that, you can get these gigantic rigs that, you know, basically the only place you can get to is a Walmart or something, or a KOA. And this rig, even though it's spacious, it's not too big in the sense that you can't get to places, you know. You can get into tight spots, get into some of these out-of-the-way places, and still have a fairly decent-sized camper. So